Alright, hey guys, it's been a while. I finally got my new PC in, so I can actually start making videos and stuff again. And I thought for this first one coming back, we'd do something pretty simple. Just kind of get my feet wet again. And what I'm doing is we're making some doors that are modular. I mean, you guys, probably a lot of you already know how to make doors, but have you been able to set them up modularly to where you can come into a level and say, oh, you know what, I need a new door. Let's place one over here. I'm gonna delete this one. Place this one over here, and yeah, now we need it. We got ourselves a new door. Yay, good times, right? And then we can set it up the door even further. We can say, okay, hey, this thing is locked. We can set what the item is that needs to be, what gets passed into it so that it's unlocked. You know what I mean? Like, do you need a red key, blue key, do you need an apple, whatever it is that you need to unlock it. We also have a setting in here where we can click open and the door automatically be opened for the player instead. So you can already have it in its open rotation. We're not going to go too terribly deep into it in this video. We will get the door working, and everything that I've shown you here will be in this video. But in the next video, we're going to show how to open the door depending on which way you access it from and stuff like that. Also do like sliding doors and double doors and make this a very modular thing that we can just place it down and start taking some boxes and we're good to go. Alright, so let me delete all this. Actually, I'll probably just leave it to the side and then we'll jump right into making all this. Alright, close out. Sure, save it. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and make a new folder. I'm gonna call this interactions. Sorry if the keyboard's loud. I haven't figured out really how to quiet this thing down like I did my old one. I might switch back to my old one just to it's not blowing your eardrums out with keyboard presses. But interactions, I'm gonna go inside of that folder and we're going to make you know what, screw it, let's go ahead and set up all the folders. So we're gonna make another one called doors and another one called items. So we will be making a really quick item in this. You know, let's go ahead and get that out of the way actually. So go into items, blueprint class, actor. I'm just gonna call this item underscore master underscore VP. If you guys don't know why I'm doing master, I like to use child hierarchies, parent-child hierarchies to build out item systems. So basically, you can have one item that can be food, it can be potions, it can be swords, whatever, but they can all share a single parent that they can inherit certain things from, like static mesh. They can just inherit the fact that this thing will have a static mesh. You can swap it out on any of the different ones, it doesn't really matter. But I'm just going to call this item mesh. Getting used to this keyboard, so you're going to see me mistyping a lot of stuff. I'm also going to put a collision on all of these. Sphere collision. I'm going to not have that parented, so I'm just going to drag it up here and attach so that these guys are on the same playing field. It's not parented like this. So there we go. This is going to be that. I'm not actually going to make any children of this. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. We do need to make an interact interface really quick for this, though. I just thought about that. So we're going to go back into interactions, the root folder of it. I'm going to go to blueprints, and we're going to go to interface. And I'm just going to call this interaction underscore interface. I'm going to open this guy up. First one we're going to call interact over here in the functions. If you guys don't know what an interface is, it's basically just a function that can talk across multiple blueprints. So you can basically send a whole bunch of information without having to really specify exactly who's sending it. So I don't have to like cast to a third person character to interact with a function on there. I can just use this function to send to all these different items. It'll make more sense. I'm probably explaining this really badly. But yeah, basically think of it as a soft way of sending out a single function that would fire differently on a whole bunch of different stuff. So basically anything you would interact with on our character, we'll just walk over to it, we'll hit our interact key, which will make that in a second. That will then trigger this function on whatever item or door or whatever it is that we're interacting with, and then they will take over from there and operate accordingly, like whatever they have on them to operate with. So I'm going to add a quick third-person character reference here. And the reason I'm using third-person character is I've started to come under the belief that you should always make a master character, just like you would an item or whatever it is that you're making. Make a master of it, and then everything else should cycle down from that. So with the third-person character, if I was to make more characters, the third person would be the parent of all of them. They'd all be based off of it, right? So I'm just going to call this actor, but it will be a third-person character type. Okay, I think we can close that. I don't think I need anything else from it, if I remember correctly. We're going to go to class settings back in our item master, and I'm going to add that interaction interface to it. And you'll notice that now we have access to that function. I can double click on it, and it's going to bring that up. And from there, you know, I'm just going to write in right here. We're going to do a print string. And we're going to say picked up item. And this would be an item pickup. So yeah, they're all going to get picked up. So we can share this logic across all of them as well. You can also overwrite interaction on a different one if maybe you want it to not have this logic. So with that said, that means that I'm going to have to do a couple things. First, we're going to go over to our third-person character. Blueprints, go into the character, and it's off to the side here. I'm going to go ahead and, actually, let's make the key. Edit, project settings. We're going to go ahead and make an input key. So we're going to go to inputs, action mappings, right underneath here, underneath jump, I'm going to hit plus. And then I'm going to grab us a interact key. So just type in interact or use or whatever it is you want to name it. I'm going to press the keyboard here to where it's highlighted yellow and press E. That's the key I want to use. You can use whatever you're wanting to use for it. So now I'm going to right click. I can type interact, action event, and then what we can do is we can check get all overlapping, or get overlapping, yeah, there it goes, get overlapping actors. Change the class filter to actor to kind of narrow it a little bit, and then we're going to do a for each loop with break. Okay, and off of that we're going to check, does this guy implement the interface of interaction? There we go. And if it does, so we're going to press B and left click to get a branch. If it does, then we are going to pull off of here and say interact and make sure to get the message. I'm just going to clean this up so you guys can read it a little bit better. Okay. And so we're going to interact with that. And then we're going to send it what actor is interacting with it, in which case we're just going to get a reference to ourselves. And then, so since we found the item that we're looking for, we don't want to keep looking. So we'll pull us back to break, which will stop us from looking any further into that array. There we go. Compile, save that. And then on variables, we do need, I'm going to basically make a really quick fake inventory. So all we're really going to do is we're going to make an array of, so we're going to go actor class reference, and this, so not object reference, class reference, make sure of that. I'm going to call this fake inventory, and we're going to switch it to an array. Okay. Now, whenever we go to pick up this item, we can get from this actor, get fake inventory. And then what we can do is type add, do a regular add, and then we can say self, get a reference to ourself, pull off of that and say get class, plug the class in, and then we'll want to destroy ourself so that it's no longer showing in the world. And that's a really quick adding an item to an inventory, a fake inventory at that. So I'm going to go ahead and, we'll give this guy a item or a static mesh. Yeah, we'll use a torus. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to take this and make it overlap all instead of blocking, because I don't want to step on it or anything. I'm going to drag this out. There we go. That's going to be our key. And then under doors, I'm going to go in here and make a blueprint class actor. And then we're going to call this door underscore master underscore BP. Same idea. We can use the child hierarchy with this as well. So this one, same idea. We're going to need a static mesh, and we're going to need a collision. I'm going to grab, I spelled that wrong, box collision. And again, I'm going to unhook that from the static mesh. Now, this one also needs the interact interface. So we're going to go up here to class settings. We're going to go to add interface, and we're going to look for our interaction interface. That gives us access to it. So remember, on the item, whenever we interact and pick something up, but in this case we want to either open or close a door. So what we can do here is whenever it tries to interact with us, we can check who it is since it's sending it over. But first and foremost, we want to make a couple of variables here. First one, we're going to say is open. I'm actually going to put a question mark on that. Is open. I'm going to hit the eyeball on this to make it instance editable. And then we're going to do another one. Is locked. Same thing. I feel like I'm missing one. I really feel like I'm missing one, but we'll figure it out. Alright, up in construction. Oh, actually, over here, back in the viewport. Oh, no, okay. I don't want to do any of that yet. So is open, is locked. I think this is pretty much everything. Okay. So what I do want to know though, right off the bat, is the door already open? If it is, then I'm going to go ahead and make a custom event. I'm going to name this custom event close door. Okay, just drag this out of the way. So if the door is already open, then we want to close the door. If the door is not already open, then we want to check, is it locked? If it's not locked, then another custom event, open door. Now, one thing I do want to pass through on both of these is a third-person character reference. Object reference. There we go. I'm just going to call this the actor again. And same thing over here. Actor. Okay, that way we can pass that information along. Now, if the door is not locked, then I just want to go ahead and open the door. And we can pass this actor in there. Okay, move these out of the way. Alright, if it is locked, then I want to check that character. Oh, and you know what? That's one thing I forgot in third person character. So let's go back to third person character. Let's go to functions, add a new function, and check has item. Okay, we're going to want to pass through what is the item. And so for that, we need to get an actor class reference. I'm just going to call this the item. And what we can do is we can grab our fake inventory here. And then we can say for each loop with a break, plug this guy in. If the array element is equal to the item that we need, then I'm going to go ahead and promote this to a local variable and say has item. I'm going to actually unhook that because I want a branch, not that for right now. But if it's true, then has item will be true. Now we can just swing back around and break this. Okay, and then we want to return. I'm going to grab a return node. But we want to return the result. And the result will be equal to has item. So basically what this is doing is we're checking the item. We're sending an item through. We're checking to see if inside the fake inventory, if any of these array elements are equal to it. If they are, we'll pass true and that'll come out. Otherwise, since has item is automatically false, it'll never pass all the way back through. So it'll just stay false. So by the time it's completed and gone through every element in the array, it'll pass out false. So back over in our door, we can pull off of here and say check has item, and we can pass in. That was the other thing I needed, was the item. So we can just promote this to a variable really fast, and I'm just going to call this the key item. Okay, and so if we do have it, then you guessed it, we're going to open the door. Target will be, or the actual, sorry, target will be self. Plug that in, and the actor will still be the third person character. Okay. Now, if we don't have the key and we try to open the door, I'm just going to print out door is locked. This is where you could actually throw in a sound or whatever it is you're wanting to do. But there you go. So in the master door, this is all the code I'm going to do. You're probably asking, like, well, Chris, why didn't we fill these out? It's because we'll actually do these in the child items so that they can be particular to the actual child items. So to make a child item, first I'm going to compile, save this guy, and then I'm going to right click on our door master and say create child blueprint class. And I'm just going to call this one door underscore hinge underscore EP. So this one will be a door that works on a hinge. You can also make sliding doors, double doors, blah blah blah. So on this one, I do want to go ahead and grab us a static mesh. So I selected the static mesh over here. I came to the side. I looked for the mesh I want, which is this door. You've probably seen it in 1,000 tutorials at this point. And then we can pretty it up a little bit. We can add another static mesh. Not a child, so I'm gonna just pull that off to the side. Okay, and this one can be the door frame. Take the door and actually line it up a little bit better. Turn off the grid. There we go. Sorry if you can hear the train in the background. Okay. Well, this will be, I'm just going to call this door frame. I don't know if I can rename Yeah, I can't rename it since it's inherited. But yeah, door frame, there's the door. Now one thing I do want to do is I'm going to hit Control D. We're going to duplicate that door. This is, I'm going to name this position 1. Or actually, you know what, open position. And with that open position, what I can do is go ahead and put the door static mesh into it. And I'm going to go ahead and copy the position of this guy really fast. So copy, and I'm going to paste that position over here so that it lines it up perfectly. Now for our open door, what we can do is we can rotate it to where we would want the open position to actually be, right? And then we're not going to want 2 static meshes of this door. That would just look stupid. So we're just going to hit this arrow here and remove the static mesh now. Kind of using it as a preview, if you will. I'm going to take this box and I'm going to raise it up to about the middle of this, and we're going to go ahead and scale it. So you can see now how we're able to build out these multiple different doors that can all share the same beginnings and the same logic. Okay, I'm going to stretch out just a little bit more. There we go. So now I don't have to worry about setting up the interact interface. It's already here. I don't have to worry about setting up all that logic we did before. We can just say, what do we do whenever we want to open the door? So we grab our event open door. We can then check or set is open down here to true, because we're going to be opening the door at this point. And then we can add a timeline, and we can just call this door move underscore timeline or something like that. I'm going to double click on it to open it up. I'm going to set the length to 1. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. That's my headphones dying. I'm going to take the track and I'm going to say add float track. And we're going to call this alpha. I'm going to pause for a second here and plug in my headphones. All right, I'm back. So we can right click, sorry. And I want to set the time on this to be 0 and the value to 0 as well. Right click again, add another keyframe. We're going to set our time to be equal to whatever time you put up here in the length, which for me it was 1, and our value to also be 1. Now the value will not always be whatever is in the length, it'll be 1, because think of 0 as being fully closed and 1 as being fully open. Alright, I'm going to drag and select both of these. We're going to right click and on top of one of them, and I'm going to click auto, which is going to give us these nice handles, and it's going to go ahead and kind of smooth out the transition from 0 to 1. Okay, compile and save that. Go back to the event graph, and inside the event graph there's a couple of things I want to do. And also I want to go to event begin play really fast, something I forgot to do. I want to grab our static mesh, and I'm going to get its relative rotation. I'm going to right click, promote that to a variable, and just going to throw default in front of what it already says. So let's say default relative rotation. And so down here, what I can do is I can grab a lerp rotator version, and I can get our static mesh again. Oh, actually, no, I don't want to do it like that. I want to get our default relative rotation, put that into A. And then I want to get our open position and get its relative position, or sorry, rotation. There we go. And plug that in to B. So think of A as being where it is now, B as being where it's going to be. Unless it's going in reverse, then it's backwards. But since we're going from play, it'll be going A to B. When we go through reverse, it'll go B to A. All right, we're going to plug in our alpha. And then off of our static mesh, grab it. We're going to say set relative rotation. plug that into the update value and plug in our rotation here. Now, what I have seen a lot of people make a mistake of lately is they will put their play sound or something right in here. Don't do that, because you got to think update is running over and over again every frame. So that would play your sound over and over again every frame. You don't want that. So if you're going to do it, place it just here before play, or you can even do it on finished, however you want to do it. But don't put it in update. All right, so once we've done that, it's opened. And then we also want to pull an event close door. Same idea. We're going to then set ourselves to not open and reverse. Okay, and that should be all that we need within this door script. So you can see how quickly and easily you can make a new door from the master door. So imagine making multiple other types of objects, doors, whatever, in the same respect. So then we're going to come over here, back into the play, and I should probably put a door into the world. So don't grab the master door, but we want the regular door. I'm going to walk up to this guy, and I'm going to... Oh, we don't have collision on it, but I can go ahead and open it because it's not locked or anything, so that's working. Let's give that door collision really quick. So the way we can do that is I can come in here, edit. We're going to click on the static mesh, and actually while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and name that door underscore mesh just to make myself happy. Oh, sorry. Let's go to the hinge because that's actually where the static mesh is hiding. But if you get this error, refresh the node. You might have to do it everywhere that we called door mesh. So let's refresh this one. Here, just delete these two really fast. And then pull our door mesh back out. Plug it in. And plug it in. Did I not? Oh, I didn't compile here. So we gotta make sure to compile the master. There you go. That's what it was. I forgot to compile the master. Whenever you make a change, you have to make sure you compile the master if you make a change in here so that all of its children get that same change. All right. What the heck was I doing prior to this? Oh yeah, we were getting the door mesh, and so here's our SM door. I can just hit this magnifying glass, go over here and find it. We can double click and open it. And if I show our simple collision here, you'll notice there's no collision. So what I can do is come up here to collision, add a simple box collision, and since that's a little bit too big, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off snapping on that. And there we go. We'll scale it in. Now we got a nice collision. All right, turn snapping back on just in case. Just in case I want to have it on again. All right, so then over here we can go ahead and click our stuff. I did forget to set up in the master to make our key item instance editable. We want that to be instance editable. There we go. So now, sorry about that. I can come over here to our item, and we can just say that we want this to be the item master that we made earlier. So it'd be this little Taurus guy. And we can also say, well, if we say it's open, oh, so that's not working. I'll have to fix that. But if it's locked, then what we want to do, let's come over here. We try to open it. Door is locked. We grab our key, press E on it, picked up the item, and now we hit it, and it opens the door. Press E again. We're able to close it. Open, close. Yay! All right. Now, why this isn't opening automatically whenever we click that? Oh, because I didn't actually create that, did I? I think I thought about it, but I never actually made it. So, what we want to do in here really fast is we want to get is open. Okay. Do a branch. So this is in our construction script. So basically this happens before the object is ever even created. Or as it's being, before it's being created? As it's being created? I don't know. It happens like before event begin play. Let's put it that way. Alright, so if it's open, then we want to set the relative position of the door mesh. Set relative rotation, sorry, I keep saying position for some reason, to the relative rotation of our open position. So get relative rotation. There we go. Plug that in. And you notice it's already going through. Now, if we set this to true, you'll see that it went all the way through already. Alright, so now we come out here, we click is open, and the door will snap open. This way you can place a door, go ahead and snap it as it's opened, or you can make it closed, however you want to do it. There you go. So, really quick recap of what we figured out in this episode. You can, quickly make a fake inventory, which is basically the same. It is a watered down inventory. So if you wanted to use it as the basics of an inventory, go ahead. Works perfectly fine. You can press E to open the door, press E to close it. We could even put this on a timer if we wanted to where after a little while it would close. We just do that after the finish, do a delay, and then call close. Yep. That's it. So if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. If this video helped you at all, please let me know down in the comments below. The comments, you guys have no idea, really helps people find the videos for some reason. Don't know how that works, but that's how it works. So again, sorry it's been so long since I made a video. I hope the microphone sounds good. I hope that the keyboard's not too loud and all that, but we'll get it figured out. And thank you guys for sticking around and coming in and watching another one of my videos. See you next time.